Hello, Mark Crossfield here. Mizuno MP H5 long iron. So I've got the 2 and the 1 iron in the H5. I've done a H5 iron review in the past. This is the long iron. We're going to do the 1 and the 2 iron separately, show you some data. We've got GC2 HMT down on the floor, so we're going to give you some numbers from the machine with the real balls on these long irons. Let's check them out. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, H5 MP iron. So I've got the 1 and the 2 iron here. There's also 3 iron, then 4 iron and so on in the set. So this is just the long iron version of the H5. Let's show you what the 1 iron and 2 iron can do. I've got Pro V1X balls down on the ground on my normal GC2 launch model. We're going to give you some real ball data. Now if we look at the 2 irons to start us off, I mean, what are we getting? We're getting hollow flow technology or design is what Mizuno is saying. So I think they're hollow and then going through into solider irons as you get into the scoring irons, but we're just doing the long ones, so you've got this kind of hollowed out back, so very thick soles, and then reverse them the other way, next to no offset, so minimum offset with some clean top lines, which really kind of go inside with what lots of Mizuno's classic clubs are about. But you do get these big chunks out the back. In a 1 iron and 2 iron, you're going to need a bit of help. If you didn't have that kind of bulbous back, which for some might not be what they're looking for, I mean, I wouldn't be able to launch them in the air at all, I don't think. So I need that help. But putting it down by the ball, I wouldn't say it's the prettiest club in the world, but it does look like a very functional club. And functional for me is as important as pretty, even though pretty, I want my club to look how I want it to look. In this club, I understand I've got to compromise and get some functionality in there, which this big hollowed out bit at the back is going to do. You do still get the nice clean line from the less offset and the top bit if you want that bit of classic. And it's obviously chromed as well, which people like. You know, the fact that they're that classic chromed design. So let's go 2 iron to start us off. I mean, these aren't, I would never really game these clubs. I'm a 5-wood hybrid kind of player, possibly links golf, but like I say, you get downwind as much as you get into the wind almost. Just give the 2 iron a hit. We'll give you some real data at the end. Putting it down by the ball, I like the cleanness of the line, and I don't mind a bit at the back, but I could see some people thinking like it's quite big, but there isn't a driving iron from any of the manufacturers where you don't see a bit out the back. Let's give it a hit. I mean, I love the acoustics of these clubs. Just absolutely love the sound. It makes such a nice clicky sound off the face, not too loud, and it feels just absolutely gorgeous when you hit them. Even though I wouldn't really game this, I think people who want long irons or prefer their long irons to hybrids, this is something you definitely want to be trying. That sound is lovely, and that's a good flight. It's a low chasing flight for me. I'm going to struggle to get this to go into a green over any kind of trees like these ones, which is why I wouldn't really play it. I think people who struggle with the driver as well, the 1 iron which we're going to hit now, I think could have some real benefits if you're just, you know, you love your long irons and you don't play on the longest course in the world. Lots of tour players are going this way now. I mean, Luke Donald kind of brought these kind of clubs to tour in the Mizuno brand. Longer approach shots into greens nowadays from some of the modern courses. I can see people needing these, and if they're not comfortable with those 3 woods and stuff, this is an option. Let's give the 1 iron a hit. 1 iron. Wow, here we go, eh? I've been 1 iron for ages. Oh yeah, I ripped it. That is low and stingy though. Even with these balls which don't get the highest, that is just whoosh. That is going to roll forever. Again, for me, I just would not be able to game this with any kind of, I'm just going to hit 1 shot with it and nothing else, and I would want it to be teed up. It's so limiting for me, but I think stronger hitters, you know, Gorilla James carries his 2 bent to a 1. Lockie's got his kind of hybridy irony club. I could see those guys really kind of going for this. Give it another hit. Yeah, it feels good. Again, the sound on this one is like the 2 iron. The 2 flights on those don't look that dissimilar. I think these are going to be flying quite similar for me. Let's look at the numbers. Let's see what I'm actually getting out of these. I like the looks, a little bit bulbous, but they've got to be bulbous to try and help us get the ball. I mean, I wouldn't get it airborne at all for that bit. Let's check out these numbers. Right guys, numbers time between the 2-iron and the 1-iron in the H5, the Mizuno H5 here. So I'm using my Pro V1X, balls the ball I game with the GC2. The 2-iron is carrying 207, topping out at 215, dropping down to 197. Quite interesting when I mishit it, how far it drops back down, which is why I'm not really this kind of long iron player. I'm much happier hitting a 5-wood and a rescue I've done in the past. The 2-iron and the 1-irons would never really sit in my bag unless I distinctly wanted to hit some low kind of raking shots, quite often links golf possibly. But for the shots that you hit into the wind in links golf, you then get often the reverse downwind, which that low hit, it works and swings around. I like the ball getting up in the air because I can hit it lower, no problem. Hitting it higher with distance is harder for me. The 1-iron goes further, 214, topping out at 218. So it tops out not much further than the 2-iron, but what's interesting is you look at the descent angle, it's 5 degrees flatter coming in, and it's got considerably less spin, so that is going to roll out a lot more. For people out there who don't particularly like the long fairway woods, they don't like hybrids, they want a long iron from the tee, from the fairway, these are definitely going to do the trick. They're not for me. Someone like Lockie who uses his lumpy, Gorilla James could really maybe kind of dial into some of these. As long irons go, you do see the back of the club a little bit, but you do get the friendliest head you can get, I think, with some classic design features. But I mean, they don't look, classic's the wrong word really, because they look modern and chunky and kind of helpful as a 1-iron could be. But I think for lots of the long iron players out there, it's a good one to go out and try and put in your bag. I definitely get decent numbers from it. I pick heights 28 and 24. It's just not quite high enough for me to maneuver going over trees. I mean, it is going to be a low stinking shot, which, like I say, I can hit that with most clubs. I can de-loft. To get those distances by adding loft is a hard gig for me. Thanks for watching, guys. Post comments down below. Are you a long iron player? Are you thinking of trying these? I'd love to hear. Speak to you all soon. So if you like what's going on here, don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.